Hey guys, what's going on? It's your favorite digital daddy, now swagged out with a new 2K camera and a lapel mic. And yeah, today I wanted to make a follow-up video to my online dating with a disability and talk about what I like to call the Tinder effect. And just so everybody's clear, I'm gonna be honest. There have probably been many more elaborate videos on this topic that are more highly well produced than mine, but I'm gonna try to give my unique perspective on it. Um, you know, and I will leave the online dating with a disability video in the description. I'll leave the link there so you guys can go see it because it is kind of a companion to this one, although I think they can stand separately. But yeah, anyway, what do I mean when I say the Tinder effect? Well, what I mean by it is that um dating apps like Tinder have, and honestly, social media in general, but they've essentially commodified our bodies. And what I mean by commodify is basically because of the way these apps work, primarily through showing pictures and like not being physically there and focusing only on looks and sort of making the experience of trying to find a partner into a game of who has, I'm not even going to say who is the best looking but has the best photos. Um and it's almost like we as complex human beings therefore end up becoming like things to be bought and sold or traded on like the market as if we're oil or like gold or something, right? Like we're on the stock market. Um And yeah, what can I say? I think it's done irreparable damage to our society. Like, because, you know, everyone is expected to at all times be their ideal selves, to not make mistakes, to walk on eggshells everywhere just because they want to be that um or those photos on their Tinder or Bumble or OkCupid profiles. Um and obviously that's not healthy, and focusing only on the aesthetic aspects of a person. I'm not saying it's not important, but I just think that after a certain point, especially when you get to the levels of Tinder and the rest of the match group dating apps, even Hinge a little bit, although Hinge a little bit less, I will say that, like, in terms of the the most fulfilling conversations that I've ever had on a dating app, Hinge was by far the best. Although this was in like back in like 2021, and then after that I never really used it. So it might be different now. It might be just like the rest of the match group apps. Anyways though, but like yeah man, think about what that means. Like, think about the fact that no part of our culture is safe from the instant gratification of getting that match notification. And as I'm sure most of most guys especially have experienced, because girls just get so many matches, uh excuse me, like you'll message a girl and like more often than not, excuse me, because of that they won't get back to you. I mean, the match was certainly like that's an ego boost, but it's like you're probably not that guy, pal. You're not that guy. um and so yeah, like I just really want to ask the question, is that really how we want to be now? Because honestly, I don't want to live in a culture like that, in a culture that treats people solely based on the way they look. And guys, I've been honest. I've always been honest about the fact that looks get you in the door, but like, you know, even still, you can be part of social groups or events and hit it off with someone um organically through shared activities, even if you're not the best looking. And that's what the Tinder effect prevents. And it has to do with capitalism, honestly. The way in which, you know, everything has to be so efficient, even your love life. You have to have everything now. You can't have any sense of struggle or organic escalation of a relationship. No. Um you have to see pictures, chat a little bit, then maybe meet up if you're lucky, do the deed, whatever, and we're essentially turning ourselves into products, right? To be packaged, to be traded around, and it's like I don't approve of that, guys, and I don't think most people, if you really sit down to think about it, do either. Like it's it's gotten to the point where I know that for many of us, especially those of us who actually really have a hard time going out. I'm disabled, so it's really not an excuse. Even though I still try to do it, like I've been honest about that on this channel. Um, like yeah, we've kind of just given up. I know I have. Um, I've tried to pursue a few disabled slash neurodivergent women and men here and there, but like it just it's it's really not the same when this type of commodification, this type of objectification is what you're um faced or have to face. And as I've said, really the only solution is to try to build community, try to go outside, go out of your comfort zone. And while I haven't met any romantic relationships in this way, um I have made tons of friendships across all genders by like I'm lucky enough to have a third place near me, a little park where I can read, but like just try to do a little research in your community. And if you can, you know what, I'm sorry, but I still just want to say that I'm against the Tinder effect. I'm against the commodification of our bodies and um quote unquote body positivity that typically goes alongside it. And until you realize that body positivity, at least in the wider culture, in the same way that um things like fat acceptance have come to gain wider appeal, that doesn't exist for disabled people, physically disabled people like me, for example, or neurodivergent folks. It just really doesn't that much unless you're from one of those groups. Like I rarely see advocacy for the positivity of disabled bodies. And it goes hand in hand with that because we're not convenient for the commodification of bodies through these dating apps and uh through our culture of instant gratification and pleasure. We can't be easily packaged up into, like, let's say, a prototype or an archetype like the skinny white boy or the racially ambiguous exoticized foreigner or something like that. You guys know what I'm talking about. There are definitely, or um my favorite, slim thick Latinas. um no, but in all seriousness though, yeah. Um fight the Tinder effect. Um fight for your right to have someone that can struggle in the sense that, like, you guys work together to be with each other and acknowledge each other as complex human beings and not just um use each other for your looks or for sex. um and yeah, uh thank you for letting me say my piece on this. I hope you all have a great day. Bye.